What's up guys, my name is Tim and I've been fixing BMWs for over a decade now, and recently I've been called to fix one particular BMW, and upon arrival I did my initial inspection and found more issues than customer anticipated. So in the end of the day I end up buying the car. So in this video we're gonna find out, was it a good deal, was it a bad deal, what the car needs, and everything about the project that's gonna be on the channel for a while. So do you want to see what I got? I want to remind you guys, for returning viewers of the channel, the membership program is on. There is a $5 and $10 membership. I already helped a few people who became members to solve their problems. If you want my one-on-one time, just become a member, or if you want to support, just get there and I will be forever thankful to you. Let's get to the video. So here she is. It's a 2007 BMW 328i convertible. This car has N51 engine, which means it's a super low emission car, and it has 173,000 miles already. So the SULIF warranty has run out, but fortunately for us, we don't have any problems related to super low emission unless you count running lean conditions. So here's the car, and I'll just go through the process of pointing out what's actually I found out, like removing some shields, this or that, and reading all the codes and how much approximately this car will need to get back on the road safely. So initially, I've been called by a customer of mine, "Hey Reed, this is your car," to do the valve cover gasket job and the rear brakes, because the brake warning light is on. What I found out, that the rear brakes are not that bad. They have about 50% of life, but the sensor is missing. But the front brakes are not fitting the car, so they are smaller than the rotors. They're not doing their job, and that's one of the things we'll have to fix. So this front brake pads, $320, parts and labor total. Now when I got the car here, I found we have the oil leak. I removed the splash shield right here, and for inspection of course, and I see the shreds of the belt. From the history of the car, I know the belt has been replaced, and what I saw, the tensioner, because I removed the belt already, checked it out, the tensioner has been replaced, but the idler pulley wasn't. So I'll show you what noise it makes, but we have a lot of shreds right here of shredded belt. The initial concern when you see a shreds like this basically is, did it get sucked into the oil pan through the front crankshaft seal? But I drove this car for about 40 miles and had no issues with oil pressure, so I would say most likely not. But this leak and initial inspection that I already did shows me that we will have to do the oil pan gasket job. So this is gonna be on the channel, one of the DIYs, so stay tuned. And well, of course, subscribe and hit this notification bell to see when and how to do the oil pan gasket job on 328i convertible. So yeah, that's one of the things. The oil pan gasket job will run you about $1,300, parts and labor total. And I'm giving you my prices. The prices vary between shops and between states. It depends on where you are. So don't compare it, and don't hate in the comments. If you don't like my prices, don't hire me to do the job, right? Next thing I noticed when I checked out the car, that the head bolt is broken right there, right behind the oil filter housing. I've seen that happen before on other BMWs, like you probably won't see it in the video, but it's right there. So I also noticed like everything is covered in oil, so I initially kind of washed the engine a little bit, but not thoroughly, of course, so it's a lot of dust and dirt in here still. So this bolt will have to be replaced. Other thing is the valve cover gasket, or the valve cover itself. I still haven't gone through entirely. It might be not leaking, but it might be, I doubt it's leaking. Let's put it this way. Like, I thought initially that it would be leaking from the top, which is unusual. The bottom seems okay, but the top might be at the problem area right here. But what we have is oil filter housing seal as well. I've seen the signs of oil leak, but not necessarily. So what will I have to do is I will have to replace the head bolt right there, and in order to do that I will have to remove the intake manifold. And on this cars there has been a recall for heating element for the PCV hose, so I will replace that since I'm gonna be there already. But there is also, since it's a super low emission car, we have two DISA valves, one right here in the front and the other one sort of inside the intake manifold. So I think the catalogs refer to it as right, this one, and left, so this is internal. Since we do have running lean condition on the car, which means too much air, not enough fuel, I do suspect the air leak. So I think it's buried somewhere here. I also checked out the airbox, and the filter has been replaced since 2 administrations ago. So we'll do that, of course, and we'll go from there. Other things, important things, the suspension components. So what I see right here is both of those shock mounts are gone, completely torn apart, and they will need to be replaced as soon as possible. And I also suspect that the shock absorbers, of course, so the front suspension, technically I will redo the full front suspension in here, which also includes the control arms, because one of the control arms completely torn and I felt it when I drove it. So we have 2 control arms in the front on each wheel. It's forward and the rearward control arms, and both of them are in the front. And if you're doing the job, replace all 4 control arms, of course. So this job will be on the channel as well, along with the oil pan gasket job. So as you can see, guys, right here, this is a very significant oil leak. That's the oil pan gasket. Easy to determine, and we also can see like the shreds of the belt are everywhere. When you're replacing the belt, when this happens, you kind of have to clean it up, because this debris can be sucked in through the front crankshaft seal into the engine bay, and it will restrict the oil flow. So that's crucial. I will definitely clean it up. A lot of oil right here. That's why the job has to be done. I would say it's probably the most difficult job that we'll have to do in here. So the next stop is the control arm. If you look close enough, you can see right here the bushing on the control arm is completely gone. So this one is torn apart, and this makes the wheel sort of unstable when driving, and you have these bumps here and there. So I can't really fully inspect the other control arm, but I will suspect it's in pretty much the same condition. I don't see from here, but once we remove it. So this control arm and this control arm, both of them will have to be replaced on both sides of the car. That's it from the bottom. Let's get to the front brakes. So the front pads, the shop who did the job, I have no words for them. First of all, as you can see, they were very adamant to apply a lot of anti-noise stuff that I hate. I don't like doing it, so it's like it seems pointless to me. But look, the pad is not fully sitting into the caliper. The caliper is definitely off. The car still stops, yeah, but the braking is not the same. Definitely not the same. So look at the distance between the end of the pad right here and the rotor. So it's not reaching good 3-4 millimeters. So the pad is not fully reaching the rotor. And of course, you can see by the pattern of clearing the rotor. So basically it's 60% operational. So it's 60% of braking power you have from those pads. But yeah, of course, we'll apply a lot of the anti-noise stuff, but don't bother putting the fitting pads in here. So what happened is, I'm pretty sure back in 2008, early 2008, I think there's been 2 different pad sizes on 328s, all of them. Later models, I think, got the bigger pads or something like that, but you gotta check it when you're buying the front pads. It's always gonna say what production date is your car, and you can find the production date on the door seal right there. So when you open your driver's door, this is your production date, which means month number 4 of 2007, which is April 2007. So this tire might look fine to you. This is a Bridgestone, I believe, run flat. Yeah, this is a Bridgestone. Whatever it is, doesn't matter, but I can see the wear on the inside, which also indicates to me that the control arms are not there. Definitely an issue, has to be replaced. And the other thing I noticed, the left side of the car is Bridgestone tires and the right side of the car is Continental tires. I mean, seriously, if you want to change tires and they're different brands, you have to change back and front together. So let's say you can do 2 front Bridgestone and 2 rear Continental. You can't do one side one brand and the other side the other brand. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Don't do that ever. So most likely all the tires will have to be replaced. We'll see what the tire shop will say. The depth is here, but it's kind of worn tire, and I don't like not matching tires as well. So let's do a quick breakdown what it's gonna cost to bring this back to fully operational condition. So first of all, oil tank gasket, that's $1,300, parts and labor total. Then we have shock absorbers, shock mounts, that would run you approximately, for the front only, I would say 800 parts and labor total. Then we have control arms, which will run you, once again, approximately $800 to $900. If you're using proper parts like lamp water, every control arm would be about $120, just the parts, and this is most likely the only wholesale price for me. That's what I saw when I checked it out. Because I saw some websites and they reached out actually to me to supply the parts for any build I want, but all 4 control arms with the sway bar links for $120. Like, I mean, fellas, it's not gonna fit. Don't fool yourself. So this is gonna cost you, the control arms, all 4 front control arms, about 800 to 900 parts, and labor, total labor is expensive as well. So the next thing we have, I will take apart the intake manifold to replace the head bolt. Can't really quote you on that, but let's put it at around 500. That's the usual for intake manifold shenanigans, removal and replacement of components in there. Then we have all 4 tires, easily running up to 600. Replace those, and that's not including the paint correction that the car will need, because it has oxidation in the trunk, it has oxidation on the roof. So I will need to seek a professional opinion, because I have no idea how to do anything with the body pretty much. I can clean the headlights though. That's maybe a short on the channel, so stay tuned. What else is in there? The front pads, as I said, is $320 approximately, parts and labor, and the wheel, of course, will replace the rear pads and the sensor as well. So those are $280 or $320 again, because they're usually the same, parts and labor total. What else is in there? We'll have to fix the air leak. That's uncertain how much it's gonna cost. we'll see what's going on, and I will probably do the valve cover gasket job and oil filter housing gasket job. One thing I noticed and I didn't mention, there is a Mickey Mouse hose from cylinder head to thermostat that will have to be replaced because it's kind of overexpanded. So this is another $300 for you, parts and labor total, to do the job. So doing a quick math, if I would be fixing this car as hired technician, it would run you approximately about $4,000. So I bought it for $2,500, and I'm not calculating the registration or anything like that. And of course, the parts cost and everything, I think it's gonna cost me under $1,000 in parts, or around $1,000 in parts. Of course, I'm gonna be doing all the labor myself. That's how I save, but I do see the value of the car at around $5,000 to $6,000. It's not 7, it's not 8, it's not 10. Don't fool yourself. So let me know in the comments if you think if this project is worth it or not, if I'm a fool or not. If you are interested in doing all the work yourself on your car, which I encourage you to do, check out this playlist, this here or there. I'll put the link right there. E90 platform playlist has pretty much every repair on this body type, but I will add the, let's say, the oil pan gasket, the suspension work, so all of that will be added. There's a perfect opportunity for you guys. While I'll have it, you can comment below what do you want me to do on this car to make a DIY video on how to do that. Even if this car doesn't need it, I can still perform a job just to show you how to do this stuff. So comment below, let me know what you think, and stay tuned. Of course, the project will be living on the channel for a bit, so I'll do everything that's going to be done on the car will be documented. So thank you for watching, stay tuned, drop a like, share, subscribe, and comment below. I'll see you in the next one.